8 rounds done, 8 races left to go. And well, to start the halfway point of the season, where else would we go other than Spa-Francorchamps? Welcome along, everybody, to Breakout Racing League's Tier 3 Championship for Round 9 here for Season 10. And we've arrived for the Belgian Grand Prix in the one, the only Spa, as I said. And well, oh, hold on. I just enabled something on the chat. That is my bad. That is my mistake. Okay, there we go. So, Spa, a very historic track that consists of 19 corners and 2 DRS zones, one going into turn 1, the other one going all the way into turn 5 right after Eau Rouge and Radion, and then going into the chicane. We should see a lot of overtakes for this race because this track generally should have a lot of overtakes. And we're just going to have to see what is in store for us here at this track. And well, we've had a lot of historic moments. One that I can remember, you guys remember it too, 2021, it got completely washed out. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people were entertained to that. I wasn't, because I wanted to see that race, because I thought it was going to be exciting, especially since Russell's going to start second. Didn't happen. But, nonetheless, there was that. But then there was also the infamous 1998 collision. If you guys don't remember that, well, basically it was a giant pile-up like you see in F1 open lobbies, to put it simply. And well, we've also had some historic moments in terms of overtaking. Häkkinen and Schumacher going at it in 2000 down the straight, in which marked an infamous moment and arguably one of the best overtakes of the league. Of the race, and of just F1 in general. Which is exactly where Parts 1, one of our newest reserve drivers for this race weekend, is right now. I forgot about Matt Spin fastest lap. Yes. Well, does it really count? Anyways. Yeah, looking over, hello Solar, hello Dennis, good to see you guys in the chat. And we might as well go over to the standings. By the way, your host, Minico, once again. I unfortunately do not have a co-commentator alongside me this weekend due to the fact that my co-com is, I think... I actually don't remember what they're doing. But, yeah, he's not here for this week, but you still have me, so we're still getting a stream nonetheless. So, championship! Things are starting to close up because in between not only the top 2, but the top 3 in the championship. Underdog and Gary separated by 2 points in the championship, going to Underdog's favor with 125 points respectively. Gary, 123. But they're going to have to look out because there has been a charging Williams coming up onto the back of these guys, and it's the one, the only, Huis. Huis has shown a lot of pace in the past couple of races. In the races where he has finished, he's finished first, third, and then first 2 times in a row. He's got the most race wins in the season. Can he make it a 4th and put in an even hotter title charge? We're going to have to find out. Kieran, currently in 4th. He unfortunately, once again, not here for this race. And then he's followed by James B. James B. also not here as well. Then Loud Balloon in 6th, who's also not here. We have quite a few people not showing up yet. Who is already putting in the fastest time on the 144.2. That's going to be a very hard benchmark for everyone to try and compete with. Redeemer sits in 7th, actually level on points between him and Loud Balloon. 47 points apiece, and then 10 points behind is Haas in the Haas. Kirito sits 9th, and then Dennis, who was in Tier 3. From what I know, he's been moved up to Tier 2, but not because he was too quick. No. He felt as if he was ready to challenge up to the top guys. We're going to see what he can do tomorrow. Obviously, that's going to be very exciting. Tier 2 at the Belgian Grand Prix. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't. That's for sure. Tier 1 is also tomorrow as well, just so you guys know. But let's get through Tier 3 first. Because Tier 3 is always going to provide a spectacle. And in the words of my co-commentator Q-Man himself, Tier 3 best racing. I would agree. I would agree. I'll leave it at that. Going up, we might as well go over now to the Constructors Championship. Red Bull still leads the way in the Constructors, 157 points to them, 19 points ahead of the Silver Arrows and reigning Constructors champions, Mercedes. Then, Further back, you've got Williams in third with 114 points. The top three all separated by a 1-2 finish. So 43 points between the top three. And then Haas sit quite a ways away behind in fourth, followed by Aston Martin in fifth, and Alfa Romeo sixth, McLaren seventh, Ferrari eighth, Alpine in ninth, AlphaTauri rounding out the Constructors' Championship. And with that, we can quickly get underway, in which we already have 6 drivers setting a lap time. One in which is a new driver for this tier. Not only is Partois a new driver, but so is the Alpine of Wooly Mixer. He was recently added into the tier this week, and well, we'll see what he can do here in his first race. I don't think he's going to be able to contend for the championship because you've obviously got very quick guys, but you never know if he could potentially put a little bit of a hamper between them. I have to find out. And there was a little bit of a name change, by the way, but for the Red Bull there of Underdog. Don't worry, it's still the same Underdog. But it's just he's no longer one Underdog. He's just Underdog, which is more unique. And we'll see. We'll see how he fares, knowing he is the championship leader. Just 2 points between him and Gary, the Mercedes and Red Bull. Wherever you heard that before. So we're going to have to find out what they can do. Both of them have a win, respectively. Both of them have finished every single race, and both of them have finished a race in the points. So, it's been very, very tight between these two. And I might as well look over at chat while I'm done reading all the statistics here. About to oversleep tier 2 again. Well, hopefully you don't. And Dolphin F1, good to see you in the chat. And well, first off, welcome to Breakout Racing League. And well, how are you doing this fine day? Has it been a good day for you? Let me know. But good to see you here for Breakout Racing League for the second half of this season. We're gonna have to see what happens. This Wooly Mixer hasn't validated his lap time, as I mentioned. Who can we go on board with? I nearly go on board with the car. We're gonna go on board with. Might as well go with Fallen. Great comments, by the way. Thank you. All right, on board with Fallen for a lap around Spa-Francorchamps, going into La Source turn 1. Very much pinching the apex of turn 1, and then getting the run down into the famous, the one, the only Eau Rouge and Radeon complex. Left, right, and left. Careful not to lose the rear. He manages to keep the rear in check very nicely indeed, and then opens DRS down the Camel Straight on the run to turn 5 of Lake Calm. Hard on the brakes, but then quickly get yourself suited for turn 5, 6, 7. Bit of a tricky complex, but Fallen negotiates through it very nicely indeed. And then this downhill left-hander, easy to lock up here. He doesn't lock up. And then quickly going over to No Name Corner. Make sure not to go too wide. It can be very tricky to keep that car on the track, and he keeps it on track. And then through Puon, very fast. Goes a little bit wide, doesn't invalidate, but nonetheless, he's still good to go. And then turns 12 and 13, sorry. Just to quickly right, left, and then right again into Stavelot. And then that ends Sector 2. Purple Sector 2, we'll see if that's true or not. And then that's that corner right there. That is a very tricky corner. For some reason. I don't know why. Now through to Blanchimont. This is just easy, flat. Sector 3 is only one braking zone, and well, he's coming up to it to the final chicane. This could also be an overtaking opportunity if you have the run out of Blanchimont, and quickly getting it switched right, left, a little bit of snap oversteer on the exit, but he gets it all done, and to the line, he goes up to 5th, does the Williams, falling with a decent lap there, slotting himself into the 3rd row ahead of Quick Tongue, and just behind the McLaren of Whiffy, which, by the way, both McLarens locking out the 2nd row. Not going to be a great race for Hazy. Well, we'll have to see. I think for you, it's just a matter of keeping it on the track, because if you can do that, then you'll be fine. And by the way, although it's dry here in qualifying, Belgium is known for having a little bit of a mix-up in terms of weather. I don't know if we are going to get any weather. I have to get checked up on that, but if we do have a little bit of weather, that's going to spice things up, that's for sure. Also, Just gonna quickly say this for those that don't know. Sorry if I go quiet a couple times because I'm actually currently eating right now. So if I go quiet at any point, that might be why. Yeah, it's pretty much around that dinner time. But you know, Tier 3, they gotta have a commentator. That's what I'm here for. I've been doing this since Season 7. I've always supported the lower end tiers like Tier 3 and Tier 4 and so on. Well, I'm still here. Looking over, I believe the coach is starting his first flying lap. There's 6 minutes left of the session already. Oh, wow. Time has gone by quickly. I believe that was Parton that just improved, and he does. He goes up to 6th, and then that's followed by the Alpine of Woolley, who did not finish the lap time. Speaking of someone who needs to do a lap time, is currently this man right now, Gary. Not the best camera angle, though. Has he backed off? Yeah, he's backed off. Underdog invalidated, interestingly. The coach still going on strong. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. I believe Shredder is actually retired. Do you race or comms Saturday or Sunday? Well, obviously we're here Friday. I usually do the comms here for Tier 3, but for Saturday we have 2 tiers on Saturday, Tier 1 and Tier 2 respectively. I don't commentate those because I actually race Tier 2, and Tier 1 sometimes I race as reserve. But yeah, yeah, Tier 1, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and then just 2 hours after is going to be Tier 2, so it's back-to-back. So if you want to tune into that, then be sure to have a look for that. And both those will be commentated by Flynn for Tier 1. Flynn, great commentator. And well, here he is. He's actually here in this race, currently racing in Tier 3. He's currently 2nd right now, so good lap right now for the Red Bull. We'll see if he can improve any better. And for Tier 2, we've actually got another Tier 3 driver. It's this man right here, Haz. He does Tier 2 commentary. And well, he is also pretty good as well. All of our commentators, I would say, in my opinion, are very good, as we are all pretty committed to this league. You're awesome for the commentary. Thank you very much, Sinone. I do appreciate that. I've been, obviously, if you guys saw my start to commentating, which was back in Season 7, looking back at that, my commentary was horrid. I don't mean to be like a harsh critic to myself, but like, it wasn't great compared to what it is now. But you know, just took the time, improved, and well, here I am. Yeah, great commentary, to be fair. Was trying to scout it for my league. Who, Flynn? Are you trying to scout Flynn? He's actually a WR commentator. I don't know if you guys know that. But, yeah, he commentates WR. And, well, it's good to see him there. And, well, he's got graphics. He's on the PC. He got the graphics. It's good. We like it. Oh, by the way, I saw that Underdog had a moment. Oh, me? Scout me? I mean, I usually just do it for one league. Oh, and oh dear, Quick Tongue apparently thought it was Netherlands this week. Not ideal, but he'll be all right. Well, I mean, he's currently in P7, so it's not all bad. There's a yellow flag. I think Wooley's just had a moment, and he has. Once again, excuse me for going quiet for a second. Again, eating food. I don't usually do this, but, you know, man's got to feed himself, alright? Looking over, it looks like Gary's about to start his final flying lap. He's actually quite early. He's getting way ahead of the queue, as people are slowly at some point going to start leaving the pits to start their final flying lap. And there we go. You see an Alfa Romeo, you see an Alfa Tauri slowly starting to leave the pits. Now Gary is going to start his final flying lap. Can he get a lap on the board, and can he shoot himself up to the top? It's going to be difficult to beat Huis. Obviously, he's got an 8/10 margin between himself and Flynn. Oh, that is a huge moment. That is a huge moment at the exit of La Source. So that is not a good start for the Mercedes already, and he only made it through turn 1. That's a yellow flag further ahead. That is the Alfa Tauri of the coach there. He gets out of the way. But, yeah, scruffy lap already for Gary. We'll see if he can potentially try and improve that later on. What tier is this? This is Tier 3 that you're looking at. So, Bit of a, I guess you could say a bit of a widespread in terms of the skill gap, but it's still entertaining races nonetheless. We've had a lot of good races here in Tier 3, especially this season and last season as well. So Tier 3 is it's always going to provide something in some way. I feel like there's never... Well, I mean, there have been some dull points, but when there aren't any dull points, oh boy, does the racing get... Oh, so exciting. We all love it here. Ugh, I got the sniffles, my bad. As Drips is saying in the chat, who's the favorite to win? Well, I don't typically do this. I'll say this. I'm not typically one to predict on who's going to be the favorite because, you know a thing called commentator's curse? Yeah, that's me. I am the living definition of a commentator's curse. But, well, if we had to look at our current race winners, looking over, so far, 5 drivers have gotten a win. By the way, Gary improved. Gary finally got a lap in, and he puts himself up into 2nd place. But that could be beaten because of that turn 1 mishap. We're gonna have to find out. Going back to what I was saying though, in terms of favorites, Underdog and Gary have all won a race. Huis has won 3 of the last 5 races, so he is potentially up there. And right now he is on pole, so he's not out of the question. If Kieran was here, he would also be in the running as well. But it's Tier 3. You can't predict this stuff. You never know what's going to happen. So, it's down to the drive. It's down to really who can just keep their nose clean. You have to find out. As Underdog is finally going to set his final flying lap time. There's about 17 seconds left on the board. Hold on, how do I pronounce that? Bucci? Bucky? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but good to see you here. Seeing you here for Breakout Racing League for the first time. And, well, welcome. And you are here for Tier 3 for the second half of the season, round 9. Got 16 rounds. How many tiers in this league? We currently have 3 tiers at the moment. Obviously, with this game not entirely being the best, I'll be the first to admit it. This game not entirely being the best, we, have lowered a bit on, tiers, but we still have strong grids nonetheless. But right now we're currently sitting at 3. We had 4 in the previous game, but 2020 was, I think, our peak. 2020 we had 6 tiers. Hopefully at some point we get a spike and then something good will happen. We'll have to see. It's good. It's just a matter of the game. That's really what we're all gonna have to trust here. As the checker flag has fallen, by the way, so Gary, he's done. Same with Partuan, Whiffy, Sinone, and Haas. Haas unable to set a lap time. Same with the coach and Shredder. Underdog is going to be the last person to set a lap time. So looking over, I believe, if I get my scroller correctly, Redeemer's going to come across the line very soon, and Redeemer across the line in the Alfa Romeo. He improves all the way up to P6. Good improvement there. Flynn is going to come across the line. He goes up to 2nd place. Good lap there from the Red Bull. He goes up to 2nd. Woolie's going to come across the line. He does not improve. That is not entirely the lap he would have wanted. I believe Fallen's the next to come across the line. No, it's going to be Huis, actually. Huis in the Williams. Oh, my. 43.3. That is a benchmark and a half. Underdog comes across the line. He does a 44.3. Oh, no, sorry, 43.5. There we go. But Underdog slots himself into the 2nd row. But Huis pulling that margin. Wow. What a lap time. Sorry. Quick Tongue, he's going to pull it to the pits. His run is done and dusted. Fallen, also going to go to the pits, and his run is dusted. That is going to be end of the qualifying. And Huis, once again, is on pole position for the 4th time this season. That Williams really putting his foot down and showing everybody what's up. Underdog on the 2nd row. Both Red Bulls with a great qualifying 2nd and 3rd respectively. That's a great result for the Milton Keynes team. Can they potentially try and get a double podium? That would be very nice. Have to find out. Gary sits in 4th. Fallen, he managed to qualify in 5th, so good lap there for the Williams. And then it's Partuan in 6th on his debut. Why am I in chase cam? But, yeah, Redeemer in 7th, as you can see. 2020 was the peak because of COVID. True. And also the game was just very good in general. Lewis is insane. I mean, yeah, 7.5 tenths, that is very insane. I'd have to agree with you on that one. That is a dominant qualifying. Going back through the rest of the order, by the way, so yeah, Redeemer, as I said, was in 7th, Whiffy and Sonone in 8th and 9th, respectively, and then it's Wooly rounding out the top 10. Quick Tongue in 11th. The coach has Shredder unable to set a lap time in qualifying. We'll see what they can do in the race. 22 laps ahead of us for the longest track in Formula 1. And Fallen's saying he's shook right now. I mean, hey, you got a great qualifying in. You managed to qualify 5th, 3rd row. I mean, you're there. You're very much there, and you actually weren't that far off of Gary either. And well, here we go. Clear skies. Clear skies. Over. And well, that's gonna put strategy into the mix now. So strategy should be plain and simple. It's gonna be a pretty easy one stop. It should be a medium to hard or hard to medium if you want to go to the reverse strategy. I know a couple drivers that'll definitely do it. I'm not gonna name them, but for those that know, they know. You could also go bold. Maybe you could go soft hard because, well, the tire wear, although this track is very long, the tire wear isn't actually as significant. It's pretty bad. I mean, pretty bad? No, I mean, pretty good. What am I saying? Oh my. Anyways. Can we just take a second to appreciate the T-posing pit crews going on right now? Can we just appreciate that for a second? The entire pit crew for each team T-posing. I don't know why this is a thing. It's funny. It's funny, admittedly. You mostly qualify at 11th. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you are in the mix, that's for sure. But one thing that's for sure is that you're definitely in the mix after that qualifying. So, well, first off, be careful in the first lap. The first lap can be chaos, as we've seen between Alonso, Leclerc, and Hulkenberg back in 2018. It can be absolutely chaotic on the first lap. So we're going to have to watch out for that. We're going to see a couple collisions. We're going to see a couple drivers go wide. It's just a matter of who's going to get damaged, who's going to be able to come out unscathed, who's really going to gain the most, because obviously straight line speed is also going to be a huge factor. If you do not have that straight line speed down the Camel Straight and everyone is using their ERS, you are a sitting duck. Obviously, you'll be able to make... obviously, there is a compromise because you'll have a lot of downforce through to Sector 2, and that's where you need downforce. But the compromise is so big. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Now, excuse me while I eat. Okay, there we go. We're good. I can only eat so quickly. There we go. Okay. So, timer's on. We're about to get underway. 22 laps, as I said. The longest track on the F1 calendar. Who is going to make it? Fiber lights are on for the Belgian Grand Prix. The second half has begun. Lights out, and away we go. Good start for the front two. It looks like Lewis has managed to get the jump, and he's clear already into turn one. Underdog breaking lane. Oh, both Underdog and Gary going a little bit deep into turn one. And oh, there is a jumping Haas. There is a jumping Haas. Okay, there we go. We already got quite a bit of things going on. Huis getting an amazing jump over the line. Look at everybody all bunched up. It's Huis from Underdog, from Fallen. Fallen with a great start. Gary with a great start as well. There's a yellow flag, and Shredder's had a moment of Rouge and Radion. And down the straight we go. Haas, Sinone, and Wooly potentially getting into it. Haas is getting ahead of Sinone. Wooly, can he try and go around the outside? A bit of a late breaking there for an AlphaTauri further back, that being at the coach. But so far, so good. Doesn't look like anybody got any damage, but the front two absolutely bolting away. There's a yellow flag. Partoine's had a moment. Partoine is off, and that is not how he wanted to start his race. But so far, nobody having any damage. Haas and Redeemer going at it. Looks like Haas has managed to get ahead of the Alfa Romeo, but Redeemer's going to try and challenge him back up the inside into Pouon, and he gets that move done, goes a little bit wide, but the switchback for Haas, and they're still going wheel to wheel down to the turn 12. Late braking for the Haas, and he goes round the outside of the Alfa Romeo, and that is the move done. He's up at the 6th. Yellow flag for the back. Partoine's had a moment. He's down in the 14th off at Pouon. That is not ideal for his start. He managed to keep together, though. Yellow flag for the back. Quick Tongue's gone off. Quick Tongue's gone off. Hits the wall. He hits the tire barrier. That is not ideal for the Aston Martin, and Shirley is going to have to pit. Oh, no, and he's stuck. Dangerous reset the track. That's fair, though, because he was stuck. So, there we go. But, first lap, done. Huis, 2.3 second lead at the end of lap 1. Underdog sitting in second ahead of Gary, ahead of Fallen. Then comes Redeemer. Redeemer managed to get back past the Haas once again. And, well, bit of a messy start, but a good start to this race nonetheless. And we'll look at the tires now. And Huis, Fallen, Haas, Wooly, and Flynn, all in a set of mediums. Everyone else going on to a set of the white wool hard compound of tire. And now my voice can relax a little bit. Essentially is... Oh, okay, never mind. I take it back. And Sinone nearly goes into the back of Wooly there. That is not ideal. Hello, Bio. And yes, pole position was a 143.5. How was Huis tier 3? Yeah. He was tier 3 at the start, but he's just had massive improvements, to put it simply. I have to say, by the way, that the Haas and the Alfa Romeo are glued to each other. The yellow flag for the back as... Oh, actually, Partoine's actually DNF'd. Partoine's out. Whiffy's now had a moment. That is not good. Doesn't look like there is anything happening there. Fallen's actually had a moment as well. Sorry I'm missing this. I'm trying to keep up with everything going on right now. But, wow. Alright, things are starting to kick off as now Sinone and Flynn going at it, and Flynn has managed to get ahead of the McLaren. And Flynn, who actually got a poor start, actually, I just noticed. He's got a poor start. He's now down to 7th, but he's just made his way up, and now he is up into... he's trying to move his way back up after what was a brilliant qualifying for him, as Fallen has now gone into the pits. I think that Williams might have gotten front wing damage. There we go, front wing replaced there, and it's Redeemer and Haas going at it, and oh, they're actually going wheel to wheel. Stands a moment, and oh, bit of contact. Oh no! That is contact. Haas is out of the race. Redeemer's been completely spun round. Surely that has to be a safety car. Surely. It's not. How is that not a safety car? Hello? That's not a safety car? Oh, what? I thought they were friends. They are friends, but I guess it was just a miscommunication, and well, also contact system might have also played a part. But that is Haas out of the race. Both Haas's out of the race. Daddy Ocean Man saying safety cars aren't turned on. They should be on. Let me double check that for you real quick. I actually went on race director, but it's okay because I'll quickly Kick me right back out. Look over. This is the wrong setting, isn't it? No, safety car standard. Safety car is standard, so that is... Why did the game not call that to be a safety car? That is very interesting. I don't know. That is odd. That should have been a safety car, because the car was just... It was close to the racing line. That's stupid. It is. I'd have to agree. As we're now about to get a battle for P2, by the way, as Gary has closed up onto the back of Underdog. And yeah, rip Haas, and yeah, Haas, that is very unfortunate. I knew that you were having moments of qualifying, but that is not how you wanted to get back on track. I know that for sure. And well, unfortunately, that you're going to be the second DNF, and that is, yeah, not ideal for you and your championship. Yikes. It's because there's only one car behind the incident. Well, you say that, yet there have been safety cars for someone losing their front wing. So, a different race, obviously, but, like, yeah, it's a little strange. Maybe it's a Spa thing. I don't know. It's kind of close to the racing line, though, admittedly. Well, not close, but, like, it was there. Oh, as Gary goes a little bit deep, that's going to cost him quite a bit of time, and now he's out of the DRS of Underdog. Yeah, but Cody's. My point exactly. Oh, and Woolie's had a moment. Woolie's just gone off. No front wing damage by the looks of it, but the Alpine having a moment. He was in 4th. But now he is down to 6th. That's going to promote Flynn back up into 4th now. Lewis isn't really pulling on the mediums. I think Deemer lost it. Either that or we had netcode. It could have been netcode. It could have been. Maybe. It's so much pace. Yeah, I mean, you got a great start. You got a great start, that is for sure. And that's just absolutely ruined it. 3/10-ish a lap. Yeah, 3/10 between Lewis and Underdog, the amount of time that Lewis gained. And I think the delta is a lot bigger than that. Mediums are 6/10 a lap quicker. Yeah, so the fact that he's only gaining 3/10 is actually quite something. As it looks like Quick Tongue's had a moment, and he has, and oh, he's in the wall again. Keeps it going, though. I think he is all right. Let's look over position gains, by the way, if I can find that real quick. There we go. Okay, so the top two have stayed exactly the same. Lewis and Underdog staying first and second, respectively. Lewis gaining a 4.4-second lead over the Red Bull. Gary went up one position off of that start. Once again, Gary getting a good start on those hard compounded tire, and he is in. And well, now he is in the podium places once again. Flynn went down one position. He's quite a ways off of these guys, but he is currently sitting there in 4th ahead of Sinone, who's gone up 4 positions. Same with Wooly Mixer as well. They've gone from 9th and 10th to 5th and 6th, so great start for them. Same with the coach and Shredder as they've gone 5th and 5 and 6 places up, respectively. Redeemer down 2, Whiffy down 2, Fallen down 6. That is not the start he would have wanted after qualifying 5th. Quick Tongue only down 1. That's a position gains and losses, and well, that could all change in the end of this race. How many of these guys are running no TC because they are doing damn well? I know Redeemer is running no TC. I know that. I know Redeemer. I don't know the rest of you guys, to be honest. Yeah, just come back to me when I figure it out. Underdog and Gary are championship rivals. They might not even think to work together. Well, you say that, yet the amount of... Well, I've seen them chat together in Tier 3 and just in general. They have immense amount of respect for each other. Like, the amount of respect off track and on track between those two is honestly kind of wholesome, to put it simply. I mean, obviously, yes, they are fighting for that championship. They are 1st and 2nd, respectively, in the championship. Gary's words. Okay, Gary's gonna want to beat Underdog this race as Wooly goes for the move on Sinone, and that was just a simple DRS pass. There we go. Oh, he actually gets a little bit squirrely. That might invite Sinone again. Sinone, though, going a little bit deep. That potentially got a little bit offset there. Yeah, the amount of respect between Underdog and Gary is really what defines as to why not only do they do so good in the championship, but as to why they finished in the points every single race, because they've never collided with each other, and they're so close on pace, but they are so consistent. That's really been the benchmark. It's like you and me. It's funny you say that because, well, it's a Red Bull versus a Mercedes. It's funny you say that because it's definitely similar, but it's good. It's still good to see. I mean, obviously they may be championship rivals, but there's still that respect between them. It's like Vettel and Hamilton. Those two had an immense amount of respect for each other. Didn't even realize. Yeah. The only difference is that Gary goes into Hamilton's seat, and you go in Russell's seat, whereas, well, both Underdog and we both go in Verstappen's, obviously. That's common sense. Of course we're gonna do that. But yeah, just pure respect between them. What's the median hard gap per second per lap? But from what Bio said, it said the gap between them should be 0.6, if I'm not mistaken. And that's when they're both at their freshest. Obviously, the mediums are going to start deteriorating a hell of a lot more. And that's actually going to play much more of a factor as the fuel is going to start to burn. Maybe that gap could even get larger because the mediums are not only going to be fresher by the time when Lewis pits off those mediums. Oh, Gary! Gary's had a moment! Off at turn 6. And that is not what he wants. As he's way off of Underdog now, and potentially, he's gonna be under pressure now from Flynn. Oh, and he's around again! Oh no! The man, second place in the championship, losing the car twice. And that's not what he wants. Oh, and he's lost it again. Oh, those tires are too hot. They're too hot. Oh no. The championship rival. Man, second place in the championship. And he's way, way down. He's going to let Redeemer by. Those tires are going to be cooking in terms of temperature. Now, all of that's promoted Flynn. Woolley, Sanone, the coach, Shredder, Redeemer, all of them up in place. Commentator's curse. Yeah. Was it though? Can we count that? Who is on mediums, Underdog on hards. Indeed. Gary losing the car. Not often you see that from Gary. I think he's starting to feel the pressure. He knows what's going on. He knows what's up. And that might have been a bit of a scare, potentially being a little bit too aggressive on the throttle. You're talking about his pace and him and Underdog working together right before that happened. I mean, yeah, true. Maybe it was a curse. Looking over this right now, the closest battle, but on track is going to be Woolley and Sanone, as there is a yellow flag once again, and Quick Tongue once again having another moment. That is not ideal for his race. It's not gone well for the Aston Martin. Can Underdog bridge the gap? If he has the pace, he could. The gap between them obviously 6.6, but the difference between mediums and hards, as I was discussing, is going to be quite big. So that's really what's going to play a factor near the dying stages of this Grand Prix, especially if there's a late race safety car. If there's a late race safety car and the hard runners haven't pitted yet, that is their golden moment. And those on the mediums, that being, of course, Flynn, Woolley, and Lewis, they're going to be seeing that and realizing, oh dear, as there is a yellow flag and Shredder has gone off. Where's my scroller? There it is. And Shredder's gone off at Pouon. Stakes left, right, and center. So once again, I'm still trying to eat my food. Bit random, I know. Yeah, the outlap will be 2-second difference. It will be quite big, that is for sure. The question is if Underdog can bridge it. That's really it. And well, if he's able to close the gap, in which he should be able to, Can he overtake? I know it's Belgium. Belgium is even easy to overtake. But can he? That's gonna play a factor. Right now, everything's starting to go a little steady now. Everyone having respective gaps now. Well, lap 9. If I'm not mistaken, we're coming close to the point where the medium runners are going to pit. So I think the in-lap. Run on board so we can check the top speed of the front two. We can definitely do that. As go on board with who is first, as we'll go all the way until they start breaking into the chicane. So right now, this is really, I think, where you get the most top speed. So Huis currently, when he goes over to the chicane, it's topping out at 317. Underdog topping out at 320. So right now, the difference between them is 3 kilometers. There's a 3-kilometer difference between Underdog and Huis. So that is going to be something. So clearly Underdog is running a little less downforce in relation to Huis. He's got that straight line speed. As there is a yellow flag, and I think Willie's just had a moment. He has. He's down to 5th now. 3 kilometers is really strong, but also in T-Rust. That is very true. That is very, very true. 3 kilometers can make the difference between you being the fastest on the track and being the slowest on the track in terms of straight line speed. And right now, Underdog currently looking pretty quick on that straight. Huis might know that too. Right now, there is going to be a bit of a battle forming now between the AlphaTauri and the Alfa Romeo. Battle of the Alphas. And Redeemer has the DRS this time around. Both of them on the hard compounded tire. Can Redeemer close up enough to be on the back of the coach? He's gaining. It's not going to be enough. That's not enough, though. The coach having a little bit of a moment there. Having a little bit of a moment. Starting the chicane, and obviously Redeemer sensing this, he sees this, and he's closing up massively onto the back of that AlphaTauri. He's gonna have to be careful though, because closing up onto the back of these guys as well is the Mercedes of Gary. Gary's starting to close in on them as well, so Redeemer's gonna want to make this move as soon as possible. He might even go for it now. Wheel to wheel, down to Pouon, as Redeemer gonna think about a move up the inside of the Pouon. He is! Oh, so tight, but Redeemer gets it done! Wow! It was bold, it was brave. Backed out, but the coach, sensing the pressure, and Redeemer, he picks his way through, and he's up into 6th as Huis is into the pits. So the pit stops are now starting to come in. Lap 10, end of lap 10, going on to lap 11. Everyone going to go into the pits at this stage of the Grand Prix. And Huis, he's going to be on the set of the hard compound of tire. There we go. Easy, simple set of the hards. And he's going to come out in a... Ooh. Okay, now here's something interesting here. Here's something interesting. Flynn, I think he's going to have DRS. Flynn might have DRS. This could work out for Red Bull here. Flynn has gotten ahead of Huis. If Flynn holds up that Williams, do any of them have DRS? None of them have DRS. But this is working out. This is working out for Red Bull because Flynn could act as a buffer to Huis. This is huge. Huge for Red Bull. So Flynn, who is just minding his own race, has put himself right into the mix. There's a yellow flag once again. But now, if the Red Bulls are talking to each other, they know the situation. They can handle the situation. Flynn is going to back Huis up, and Huis is going to be on cold tires. Those tires are going to be hurting under that dirty air as well. And as you can see, the gap between Underdog and Flynn is increasing. 10.1. This is huge. Now Underdog, he has to push. Underdog has to push now. And look how close Huis is onto the back of Flynn. Flynn is going to have to play the ultimate Sergio Perez right now, because that Williams is looking awfully quick. Going down through Blanchimont, down the back straight. Yellow flag, Willie's gone off. Huis is not going to make the move into the chicane. He's not going to think about it. And Flynn is going to dive into the pits. He's into the pits. And now, Huis does have the clean air. But how much has Flynn holding up Huis there? How much does that cost Huis? There's a gap between Underdog and Huis. By the time he pitted was around, I think, like 6.5. Wasn't it? Something like that. And now, Huis being held up there, he definitely lost time. And he knows this. He knows he lost time. So it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge for him. Paras in disguise, that's exactly it. As there is switching further on back, and it looks like Gary's managed to get ahead of the coach, and now Gary is up into 6th place. And he's actually on the back of Flynn here, and Flynn, he just came out of the pits on a set of new hard tires. And Gary's just going to easily make the move. I don't think Flynn tried to even attempt to fight that, and that was probably the smart way to go. Red Bull's down to 6th, Gary out to 5th, but Gary still has to pit. So does Underdog, Sinone, Redeemer, and the coach as well. So Flynn in a bit of traffic, but right now he is still provisionally at the moment P3. 7.3. Was that the gap? 7.3. Okay. So I'm gonna have to watch out. That gap. Actually, wait a minute. Look at how fast that gap is going down between Underdog and Huis right now. It's gone down to 8.9. Your pedals had wax settings, so now you're quicker again. I mean, does that mean you're faster than me, though? I ain't gonna go there. We'll see tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow, Bio. Belgium's gonna be an interesting race, I'll tell you that much. I mean, this is already providing to be a bit of an interesting one. Not entirely the most, not the most exciting race, that is for sure, but, you know, it's still something. As Sinone has dived into the pits now. Sinone is into the pits. And he is on the set of hard competitive tires, so this is a little bit of an overcut, maybe a little bit of undercut between the hard runners. But set of mediums there for the McLaren. He's going to come out behind the coach. Should come out ahead of Fallen. Going to spin lap 4. And he puts him out of the running. I'm fine with that. Yep, so known out of the pits. And well, comfortably in P7. You'll bin us both, don't worry. Nobody has binned me yet. Keyword, yet. So I'm just gonna let my driving do the talking. I'll put it that way. It looked like there's a battle between Whiffy and Shredder right now. It looks like Whiffy has managed to get ahead of the Ferrari, in which Shredder, he did pit. He did pit, so he is, well, he's actually ahead of Wooly. Wooly, obviously, he already pitted as well. He's only got one lap on the set of hards. Whiffy's pitted as well, same as Sinone. So Shredder pretty much set himself midway. Tiggy will bin himself Eau Rouge. What's the pit window for hards? Pit window for hards? We're pretty much there. We're pretty much within that region. Lap 14, lap 13, and like around that section. And that's when the mediums are going to be very fresh and very quick. Gap between Huis and Underdog, by the way, 8.1. So Huis has managed to almost negate that gap. I'm going to pull a Grosjean 2010 or something. 2 laps to go. But Redeemer says otherwise. He's gone into the pits now. Same with the coach. There we go. Onto a set of the medium compounded tires for both the Alfa Romeo and the Alpha Tauri. Easy pit stop. I don't know why the pit crew for Williams are just standing there. We move. Redeemer's going to come out comfortably in P6. Is Underdog going to do hard soft? I don't know. I feel like the sauce might deteriorate too much. Is that why isn't he pitting? He's losing time to Huis. Great question, actually. He could have pitted. He could have pitted the previous lap. Let's see. quite comfortably, though. Maybe he's is he waiting for a safety car? He haven't really had a safety car. Broda's lost the advantage. He's lost a heap load of time. By the time he pits, it's going to be like 12 seconds between the guys, I swear. Gary also hasn't pitted as well, but he's going long, and, well, he usually does this, so not surprised by that whatsoever. We have quite a bit of a battle right now between the coach, Whiffy, Shredder, and Wooly right now. Bit of a four-way fight. As Huis sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1:47.9. Gap between the top two, 6.3, 6.4. The gap is very much increasing. Decreasing. I'm letting him cook. Hold up. Let him cook. Hold up. Yellow flag. It's quick tongue. Sorry for the silence. Once again, trying to eat food here. That's my bad. So the closest fight actually is between Whiffy and Shredder right now. Shredder's going to go up the inside into turn one. Trying to go for it on the McLaren. Does he have the move done? Not quite. They're still going at it, wheel to wheel, down through Eau Rouge. Shredder's not going to quite get the move done, but he's definitely looking at the back of that McLaren. He's actually dislodged Whiffy at a DRS. I think that's exactly what he was trying to do. And, well, he's got DRS. He's got the slipstream. This is going to be an easy move here for the Ferrari. Easy. Pass the McLaren. And Wooly can very much, well, get himself interested. He backs out of it. He backs out, and he's going to stay behind in P10 for the time being. Whiffy down to 9th. Shredder up to 8th, and now he's going to try and chase after the AlphaTauri to coach. Underdog is throwing this. Gap between them now is 4.7. Surely Underdog pits now. He doesn't! He's staying out! What is the strategy? I think we're all curious. Does Gary go into the pits? His quick turn gets a 5-second for speeding in the pit lane, and he might retire. No, he does not. Oh, now he does. As Gary also doesn't go into the pits. As, oh, that is a yellow flag, and Shredder's gone off. He's gone off at turn 1. And, oh, what's just happened to Gary? Gary's had a moment. As Redeemer now sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. What's happened to Gary? I'm not seeing any puncture, so he didn't get a puncture, but something definitely happened to the Mercedes. And that's comfortably promoted Flynn up into 3rd now. And Gary, surely you pit now. I mean, you just had a spin on old tires. Surely you just pit. Surely. Bro clearly hired Ferrari strategists. Well, it's just interesting. Like, I'm struggling to understand right now. And so it's now going to be a battle for P8. As Wooly got the slipstream. He's pulling up alongside the McLaren of Whiffy. And once again, oh no, actually Whiffy dives it back around the outside. Oh, there's a bit of contact. That's not ideal. That is not ideal. But Wooly now losing quite a bit of time. I think that was just, it could have been a little bit of a racing incident. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of a squeeze. Does Underdog go into the pits now? He doesn't! He's not pitting. Wow. I am dumbfounded. I mean, no matter what, this entire situation, he's gonna be P2 by the time he pits. There's no doubt. But he's gonna be so off of the leader that there's no theoretical chance. It's a 10-lap difference between the hards and between their hards, and well, Underdog's just throwing himself into the mix. As Gary's into the pits now, so Gary finally calling it. Said he should have, but he finally goes into the pits. Set of mediums, no front wing change, so he didn't get any damage. And well, he's gonna come out. Maybe P6? It's going to be close between him and the coach, I think, because the coach blasting down the main straight. He should come out ahead of the AlphaTauri, and he does. He's easily come out P6. And now, realistically, well, actually, I don't even think he has enough time to chase down Redeemer. It's going to be tight, as there's the yellow flag once again. And that is Shredder that's gone off once more. As the gap between Underdog and Huis now is 1.1. Make that nearly within a second. Huis is just completely caught up to the back of Underdog. Surely you just pit now. Surely. As with you guys, a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Not ideal. Shredder goes into the pits. Does Underdog pit this time around? What? Hello? What is going on? As Shredder has retired. Underdog's clearly going softs here. He's clearly going softs to take the fastest lap. I can 100% believe it. There's a yellow flag. Whiffy's gone round. Whiffy's off. That is not ideal for the McLaren. We have lost 4 drivers from this race. Shredder, Quick Tongue, Haas, and Partoine. The move looks to be easily complete there for Huis. And Huis takes the lead once again of the Belgian Grand Prix. And he is just completely gone. He's taken the lead. He's already built a 1-second gap as of right now. And while this looks to be a comfortable win for the Williams, going for his 4th win after his 4th pole. The pace is unbelievable. And surely, if you're Underdog, you just pit. Just pit now. Yeah. As Whiffy's also into the pits, by the way, and he's gone on to a set of soft, so he might even take the fastest lap as well. I'm sure it'll be like a late race safety car. I reckon he forgot he needed to pit again. I don't think he forgot that. I highly doubt it. Risking the win just for fastest lap, not really smart. I mean, I don't know. I don't have the mindset of Tier 3. I have the mindset of Tier 2. And he's still staying out. What in the world? The brain is gone. The brain is gone. The brain has left my mind and is just completely gone. These dudes in the front are too fast. But Underdog hasn't pitted yet. Underdog hasn't pitted. Let's not forget that. Huis, though, he's completely gone. There's no doubt about that. He's gonna get a puncture. At this rate, yeah, he could very well get a puncture. Good Underdog. Also, why would we ban a driver for being too quick? Why would we do that? No. We're not gonna ban them because they're too quick. That's not... No, we don't do that. As Gary takes the fastest lap. Get this man out of the kitchen. Yeah, everyone now just kind of in their own positions now. Could Gary potentially close up onto the back of Redeemer? He hasn't really closed up as much. It's going to be tight between them, I think. Though I think Redeemer has that position on lock. He's got the ERS level. How about you get quicker? I mean, I have. I have gotten quicker. I'll be the first to say it. I have. Looking over, and well, just quick mention, by the way, that Flynn has been driving a pretty good race. It's been oh so just quiet. Took 3rd place and never really looked back, to be honest. Oh, not me. Oh, okay. Hashtag pad track. Buyout. I don't control that. As Underdog is into the pits now, finally. He's finally into the pits. And what does he go on? Set of softs. So he's definitely going to go for fastest lap, no doubt about it. He's going to gain time on... He's going to gain time, and oh, that is actually a yellow flag. And Gary's gone off. So negate the fact that I was going to say that he could potentially try and catch up to Redeemer because he's just lost all that time. This is another yellow flag, and Woolie's gone off now. He's gone off at the infamous turn 16. Or no, 15. Turn 15. Not ideal. But on the bright side, at least for his debut, he's going to finish in the points. He's going to finish in the points, so, you know, it's not all bad. Decent race for him. It's obviously he was in the mix, that's for sure, but it's just not really gone his way. As we could potentially see a battle, by the way, for P6 between DeCoach and Gary. DeCoach, though, does have a time penalty. He's sliding quite a bit at the exit of Eau Rouge. And he's gaining on the back of the Mercedes, gaining quite a lot, but is it going to be enough to mount a challenge? No, it's not. He's not going to be able to get that move done, and he's going to have to stick behind that Mercedes just that little bit longer, as Huis is coming around the coming to the final chicane to start lap 21 of 22. Just 2.5, well, 2 and a bit left to go. As Wooly grabs a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Actually, look at time penalties right now. Right now, oh, okay. Well, 6 seconds for DeCoach, 9 seconds for Wooly, 3 seconds for Whiffy. Those are only the time penalties that we've had. Not ideal. So known, by the way, can we just quickly say, up 5 positions? Can we just mention that? Very, very good race for the McLaren once again. After grabbing 4th, no, he grabbed 5th in Singapore last week. He's only gone ahead and grabbed 4th this time around here in Belgium. He's had a quiet race, but it's been a good one nonetheless. As Huis grabs a 3-second time penalty, but that's not going to affect him, to be honest. As the coach closing in onto the back of Gary. Fallen grabs a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. The coach closing in onto the back of Gary. We could definitely see a fight for P6 now. Also, although kind of really late for a stop, I'm going to win a lap or 2 sooner. I feel like you should have pitted onto a set of mediums. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't have their mindset. I think he wanted to secure fastest lap. I mean, I don't blame him for doing that. And, well, he could be on the mix to do that, as Woolie's actually into the pits. Same with Whiffy. Both of them into the pits. And they could potentially actually try to take fastest lap. It's not all over yet. As the coach still sticking nicely onto the back of Gary. Still sticking within that DRS. Just gonna have to hold. He might just have to settle for it. Not done yet on the stream, by the way. We still have interviews. Let's not forget. As Huis now goes on to the final lap of this Grand Prix. He's too far out of 4th place. This is Dog's best bet. I mean, the gap Huis had is insane. As Underdog does take the fastest lap, 1:48.5.2. He takes it. And I think that's all he could really hope for. Is Huis going down the straight. And, well, it's been pretty much night and day for Huis. Grab pole by 7.5 tenths. 7.5 tenths. When was the last time you've seen anybody take pole by that much of a margin? I know somebody who might have done it. We know who it is. But he's looked pretty comfortable since then. Pulled the gap, and then he overtook Underdog after he pitted, and just simply looked in control. It's been a brilliant race for Huis. Underdog went a different strategy, didn't go his way. He did get the fastest lap, of course, but whether he could have challenged for the win, I'm not entirely sure, because the pace of Huis right now is looking unfathomable. It's insane, the amount of pace he had this race. And, well, going down the Camel Straight. Sorry, not the Camel Straight. Down through Blochemont. He won at the historic Silverstone Grand Prix. He won in Singapore. He won at Circuit of the Americas. He's going to make it 4 wins in the past 6 races. Huis wins the Belgian Grand Prix absolutely dominant performance from the Williams. There's not much more to it. He is the man this race. Underdog. He's going to come home. He's going a little bit slowly, but I don't think he cares. He's coming around the final corners as Gary's actually had a moment. But Underdog, he's going to come across the line. He's going to finish in second. And Flynn will make it a double Red Bull podium for the first time this season. Flynn will grab third place. His first podium this season. I think his first podium ever, actually, in Breakout Racing League. And that is a great day for the Constructors leaders. Sinone will come home to take fourth. Once again, another good race from the McLaren, as he will take 12 points. Redeemer will finish in fifth. A great comeback after that contact between himself and Haas. The coach will finish in sixth as Gary actually spun. Actually, no, Gary did have a spin, but he's going to take that position. As Gary will finish in P6 to coach P7. Fallen will finish in P8. More points for the Williams team. But in terms of constructors, Red Bull do grab the most amount of points this weekend. Woolley, he'll come home after his first race to take P9. Whiffy will come around to take the final points paying position. Great day for Red Bull. It was a brilliant day for Huis. Everyone tuning in to hear Underdog Strat. And there we go. Race officially over. We need a mid-season adjustment to tier. Some of these people are too fast to a tier. I mean, yeah, well, there are some things that we can buff out. Sinone grabs driver of the day. He had a pretty calm race, a pretty quiet race, but he dominated, to put it simply. Ban him. We're not banning people. Stop with the banning. The Huis is going to come home, take the top step of the podium, does the gritty once again. Bring down the hammer. No, we're not doing that. But anyways, Huis wins in Belgium. Red Bull double podium. Underdog does increase the gap, I think, to P2 in the championship due to Gary not having the best of races and Flynn having a great race, and he takes P3. Sinone, P4 for McLaren. Another great race for him. Sash will try and get the drivers in for interviews. Redeemer will come home to finish in 5th. Gary, 6th. The coach, 7th. Fallen, 8th. Woolley, 9th. Whiffy in 10th. We lost Shredder, Quick-Tongue, Haas, and Partoine from this Grand Prix in what was a surprisingly safety carless Grand Prix. But it still had its moments, that is for sure. So we'll try and get the drivers in for their interviews soon. Need to get Flynn in here for his first ever time on the podium, I believe. Getting drivers in. Gonna have to wait a little bit. Even the beginning should have been safety car. Yeah, the second lap, that should have been a safety car then and there. Was it the first lap? No, I thought it was the second lap where Haas and Redeemer collided. Oh wait, or maybe you're thinking about Partoine and his collision. Maybe, I don't know. As our winner of the Grand Prix has joined us, we're now just waiting on Flynn at the moment. Hopefully he can get in as soon as possible. I might as well quickly get this started, though. And, well, drivers, be sure to include your audio for the interview. We'll quickly get this underway while we wait for Flynn. And, well, P2, Underdog. Bit of a different strategy in relation to everybody else, but nonetheless, started P2, finished P2, grabbed the fastest lap, minimized the damage, and well, tell us how that race went from your perspective.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough race because I had no pace to keep up with Lewis, but I was playing the ultimate team game to try to get Flynn on this podium because he qualified really well behind me. So, plus with Gary spinning, kind of opened up the couple of doors for me for my strategy. So that's why I just stuck out with the hards and just put on the softs towards the end. And ultimately to get the fastest lap to try to stay in front of Gary, if I'm not in front of Gary yet. Yeah, it was just a great day for the Red Bull family. Double podium for me and Flynn.
Yeah, it definitely was your first ever double podium for this team, and well, I'm pretty sure, like Flynn, you're definitely very happy about that. We're gonna get Flynn's word on that soon, and hopefully he joins as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, though, P2 once again grabbing another podium. Next week, Netherlands. Netherlands has always thrown something interesting in the mix, good or bad, who knows. But what do you think of your chances going into that race?
That track is like that track I take on lap after lap because it is a very tough technical track. You can lose it on any corner, especially with the curbs. They're very deadly over there. So, yeah, anybody's race, but anything can happen.
Yeah, it definitely can, especially with how tight Netherlands can be in certain places. We could definitely see a couple safety cars being thrown out there, but we're gonna have to find out. Nonetheless, though, congratulations to you on your P2. I mean, you're pretty much in the top two that entire race, so it never really looked in doubt. With that, we won't move over to P1 just yet because our third place finisher has now joined us. And well, Flynn, be sure to include your audio. And well, to be honest, I've been waiting for this for quite a while. But Flynn, well, you are a Tier 3 podium sitter for the first time. How do you feel?
I know. I don't know what to say, really. Woken up, really. It's just a shock. I didn't expect it to be honest. But here we are, I guess.
Yeah, here you are indeed. And well, you commentated my races in which me winning, grabbing podiums, and well, it's about time this happens. Let me just say that. It's bound to happen. And we finally got it. And well, you had a good qualifying position. You qualified third. Although you didn't have the best of first laps, you definitely just put in the laps, gave the consistency, and well, obviously with a couple of misfortunes, that being with Gary. Nonetheless, though, you grabbed P3, and well, double podium for Red Bull. It could not have been any better, could it?
No, not really. It's absolutely amazing. Me and Underdog right now are celebrating quite hard, to be honest.
Hell, celebrate all you want. Next week, Netherlands. After grabbing this podium, and I would assume confidence now feeling rather high, how do you think your chances next week? Do you think you potentially go for it again?
Possibly, because Netherlands is quite a decent track for me, so we'll just sit tight and see what happens next week, I guess.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see in just a week's time. Nonetheless, though, congratulations to you on your podium. Like I said, I've been waiting for this. And, well, you finally got there.
Thank you very much.
You're certainly welcome. And with that, obviously, I already discussed with P2, double Red Bull podium, as I mentioned. And now, move over to the winner of the Belgian Grand Prix. And, well, Huis, it almost seemed inevitable, this race. Qualifying 7.5 tenths ahead of P2. And then just having the pace, and then just having that gap. You really just took a stranglehold on this race and just pulled away from the rest of the pack. And, well, grab your fourth win of the season. Tell us how that race went from your perspective.
Yeah, it was a really good race. Really tired from it, but it was a pretty clean race. Nothing major happened for me. Double points finish for William, so congrats to my teammate for that. Then I went beat him hard, and I honestly was expecting to be overtaken by Underdog because of it, but he went with a completely unexpected strategy, and yeah, I got the win at the end, which I'm very happy about that.
I wouldn't be surprised that you're happy about that. And well, you grab your fourth win of the season. Next week, Netherlands. How do you think you'll fare?
Yeah, Netherlands, not my strongest track. I'll try to practice as much as I can for it because any mistake is very, very costly there. So it's gonna be a tough one. I'll see how it ends, but I'm not too confident right now. But I'll see what I can do next week.
Yeah, we'll definitely just have to wait and see. But nonetheless, congratulations to another win in the books, your fourth win of the season, closing in on the leaders. And, well, congratulations, of course, to second and third place. Like I said, double Red Bull podium. They couldn't have asked for any better as they pull away in the Constructors' Championship, and the Drivers' Championship starting to close up once again. With that, that's going to wrap up Tier 3 for us tonight. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, though, for Tier 1 and Tier 2. Those are going to be some very exciting races as well. Second half of the season, championship starting to come down to the wire. We'll see how it pans out at the Belgian Grand Prix. And then next week, Netherlands, the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. It's a tight, twisty track, and it's going to provide a hell of a lot of entertainment. Starting next week, of course, Tier 3. Don't miss it. Championships coming down to the wire. 7 rounds left of the season. But for me, that's everything. Good day, good night. See you tomorrow for Tier 1 and 2. See you next week for Tier 3.